Well, hello, our St. Mary's preschool families. This is Miss Berrigan, or Mrs. B, as I will have the children call me, because my name is quite a mouthful and I'm not expecting little 4-year-olds to be able to pronounce it. With that being said, I would like to move on to welcome you all and thank you for taking the time to watch this orientation video regarding our preschool program. So St. Mary's was able to get state certified. So now we have a license from the state and we are able to expand our preschool program. We have been working really hard all summer long to get the classroom set up, meet the requirements to get the state license, and we did it. And I would also like to take this time to thank Miss Marlowe, Pete Scroggs, Jolie Carroll, Miguel and Delia, who work here at St. Mary's School, for supporting me throughout all of this adventure. We are now in the final phases of getting ready for your kiddos to come to school. Because we are licensed through the state, there are some things that might look a little different because we have to abide by state rules. So some of the things that I'll be talking throughout this video will have to do with the requirements that we have to have for being licensed. And moving on, so first things first, our open house is on Thursday the 27th here at the school, and it is from 5:30 to 7. And parents will come and they'll get the information that they need, and then they can come down to the classroom and you can bring your kiddos and explore the classroom. If you have any questions, then we could address those. The first day of school will be September 2nd, and the arrival window for our students is 7:45. And their pickup time, if you're a student, will be a full-time student. The pickup time is 2:45. If your child is a half day, it will be at 11:30. And because we are licensed through the state, we are able to take the child care subsidy. So if at this time, we do still have a few spots open. So if you know of anybody that would like to join our St. Mary's School with the preschool program, let them know that they can come inquire in our office. And again, we do accept the child care subsidies. So if that is something they want to explore, they can come into the office and talk to Miss Marlowe, and then we can get moving on that. The school calendar is something that is quite important, that will be in the mailing. It has important information. I want to make note, I know that the kindergarten students are only going to be coming in like half days at the beginning of the school year. The preschool children will not. Your preschool child will be here all day. The reason being because we have nap time in preschool. So your child will not be tired, will not be cranky. He will have a good rest. The supply list, touching back a little bit on the regulations that the state requires. So like I just mentioned, your child is going to be having nap time. Then that'll usually be like after lunch, when the children have already been tired from all the activities and transitions throughout the day. So in your preschool list, I know 2 lists went out, and the traditional list that usually goes out went out at the end of the school year in June. And so because the program's different, and some of the stuff that we are asking parents for are part of the requirements for our licensing, that is why we have the 2 lists. But if you already purchased items from the first list, we'll accept them. We're not going to hold you to it, with the exception of, I know it said the plastic storage bin. So that, what I mean by that is one of the plastic totes, and here I have one. It doesn't have the latches, but pretty sure you guys will get the gist of it. So something like this And this is quite small. I do have the measurements on there. We have some cubbies that are 13 by 13 by 10 high. And so your child should bring a blanket and a stuffy, which is optional. The reason it needs to be in a little box like that is because we're going to label it with your child's name, and only your child's items will be there. And it's so kids aren't pulling the blankets and losing their stuffies and then, you know, upset about it. So we're going to try to keep everything a bit on the organized side and make sure that your child is able to recognize their name, because they could see that's my box, that's my stuff. But the other thing is also that at the end of the week, when on Fridays, parents, we're going to send that box home with the blanket for you to launder. So that is a state requirement. The stuffy is not required. And it doesn't need to be a stuffy. It could be anything that your child usually has, right, that would calm them down, or that they can have in order to unwind and take their nap. Touching on the nap thing, if your child is not a napper, so we are required to put the children down for rest time. So if we put the children down and after, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, we realize that your child is not tired, they don't want a nap. So what we're going to do is, we already gave them enough time to relax, and if they don't fall asleep, so we're going to that child is going to come to a table where they're going to be doing a quiet activity, which could be an art, it could be a puzzle, it could be something else, so they're not just laying there for like an hour and 45 minutes or whatever it is. Okay, so with that, we also will be brushing teeth in the classroom, which is again a part of a requirement, health and hygiene. So we are asking that parents please bring 1 or 2 toothbrushes, because, you know, at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, that toothbrush is gonna be done, and a small tube of toothpaste for your child. We're also going to have those separate. Each child is going to have their own little bin where they're going to keep their toothbrush and their toothpaste separate from other students. And then the other stuff that is on there is just activity things that we will need in order for your child to do the necessary things. So again, my apologies, because of the program and because of the way that things happened last year. There are 2 lists, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, if you have any concerns. We understand it is it turned out to be something that could be confusing, but here we are to clarify it. Okay, so with that being said, I need to make sure I'm touching everybody's points. The other thing, so we're going to be our learning is going to be play-based learning, and the goal is that through exploring and making those real-life connections through play, your child will be learning reading, writing, math, science, history, all arts, everything that children need to learn, social, emotional, that will help them as they continue in school. And I am also happy to report that because in our room we will have 3 staff. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So I am the lead teacher and director of the program. I have Miss Rachel, who is the assistant teacher, and Miss Jingle, who will be our aide here in the room all day long. And so what we are going to do between Miss Rachel and I is Miss Rachel will teach the children when we do circle time or anything that is learning based. It will be in both English and in Spanish. So Miss Rachel will be doing the English portion, and then she will switch it up to me, and I will be doing the Spanish side of things. And this is just to get some of the children that because we have some Spanish speaking children, to give them the opportunity to help them with the the language processing in both languages. Let's see. So the other thing, so we do, like I mentioned before, we have the full day so we have a half day program, a full day program, and then the full day program plus the after school care. The after school care will be down here in our room. Okay, the way that our program's set up, our preschool children have their own space and they are separate from the rest of the school as far as the after school care. So the children will be down here from 2:45 to 5:15 with Miss Andrea, and she will be the one that will be running the after school care program with your kiddos. Expectations for families. So I think the only expectations are, you know, what the school normally has as far as the community service hours and the script. And if you are a subsidy parent, depending on what your percentage is, if you know, for tuition or whatever, that is separate from the other obligations that people have, which would be the script and the service hours. And so our script program here is $1,500 of script per family. So if you have one child or 5 children in this school, it is $1,500 script cards. And I know that may sound like a lot of money, but if we really think about it, there's a lot of script cards. We have Safeway, we have Walmart, we have Home Depot, we have just the generic Visa cards, grocery, you can use the cards online. We did purchase some things this year, and it is really easy to spend a lot of money, honestly, these days. So $1,500, I know it might sound like a lot, but I think if you break it down and you spend $100 roughly a week on groceries at Safeway or Walmart, it's $1,500 in 15 weeks. So, and we're definitely in school more than 15 weeks. So it is something that that could easily be done. There are also, our parking. Here's a parking map that has the areas where parents need to park and the areas that are off limits to parking. I would like to really reiterate that it is very important that, as I know sometimes we get busy and, you know, we're in a hurry or we're tired or whatever, but we always need to practice safety. And I want our parents to know that safety is our main concern, and we are definitely going to follow the safety rules. And we would like parents to be mindful of that when picking up your children and when you guys are outside of our building parking or with your vehicles. So St. Mary's also has uniforms. Right now they have the uniform swap going on up in the lunchroom. So if you are a new parent and haven't quite gotten all of the uniforms that you think you might need for the school year, you're more than welcome to come, and you don't have to swap anything out. You could come and look and see what is available. There's tables set up with all different sizes and all different types of clothing as far as uniforms go. So please take advantage of that and come see what you might need and go ahead and take it. We also have St. Mary's t-shirt sales, in the order form looks like this, and it's inside of your packet. So please order those because pretty soon it's gonna get cold, and if you want to purchase some of the St. Mary's logo sweatshirt or t-shirts or anything like that, now is a good time if you are able to remind I would like to remind you that there are 2 reminds. The best way to get a hold of us will be through Remind because that's instant. There is inside your packet a school remind link. I want to let everybody know these are there's going to be 2 separate reminds. I know, to make it more confusing. So there's a school one that's this purple sheet, and on open house I will have one here in the classroom that will be our classroom remind. So if you as parents need to get a hold of us during the day, or if we need to get a hold of you, we're also going to share very valuable information. We are working on resources, a lot of communication that's going to be happening on the Remind app to keep parents up to date and let them know what's going on. Occasional picture of what your child's doing so you could see how we're doing. So that is one thing that I want to make sure that parents are aware of. The other thing, I know most of us work, we're busy, and we forget things. You're more than welcome to get a hold of us at any way that you find it more efficient for you. You can send us an email. We will have all that stuff for you on the open house. We will also have, again, like I said, the Remind app paperwork, or you can just call the office and have them, if you prefer to talk to us in person and it needs to be at that moment, it's something important, or something you think you might forget, because we're all human, it happens. So feel free to get a hold of us however you feel is better for you. With that, we have our student handbook that I would like for all parents to please read as much of it as you can, and sign all the forms in the back, acknowledgments. We want to make sure that parents are aware of, because this is a new program and there's a lot of stuff that is the same as it was last year if you are a returning family, but there's also some things that are different that we have to make sure that we follow those guidelines in order to keep our program successful and in order to keep your child safe. So also, all the forms that you filled out when you registered your child, please make sure that those are returned. The way the program's set up right now, there will be a file kept in the office with your child's registration, but down here in the classroom, we will also have a file that will have all the medication forms and any allergies that your child might have to food or medications or anything else for those emergency situations. And we want to make sure that parents are aware that you need to have those. So if for some reason you keep forgetting, I know we're all human again, to fill out those forms, and you fill it out but you forget to bring it, take a picture of it and send it to us. As long as it has your signature on it, it's good. Okay. Back to school night, like I said, we're going to have a lot of information. We're going to have meet the teacher, the teachers and staff that will be in this classroom will be here. And we would like your child to be here too, so they can explore the room that we have been working so hard to put together, and hope this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful school year. I would like to also let families know that the lunch and snacks, the students who, so we will be having lunch in the lunchroom with the rest of the school for the students who are an all-day program. The students who leave at 11:30 will not get lunch, they will just get a snack. But our students who are here all day, so if you choose to do have your child have a hot lunch, there is a form that you can fill out to see if you qualify for free and reduced lunch. And We will also have a snack in the afternoon. So because it's such a long day for the kiddos, and they're going to be running around, playing, very active. We're going to be engaging in a lot of activity throughout the day. We will be having a morning snack, lunch break, and an evening snack, right? At the end of the day before they go home. So if you choose to bring a lunch from home, I want everybody to know we do have a refrigerator where if stuff needs to be refrigerated, it will be there. Please make sure that your child's lunchbox has their name somewhere on it, because maybe there's another student who has the same lunchbox as your child, and we want to make sure that everybody gets their lunch and there's no confusion. We also have, there's guidelines of what should be in a child's lunch. And in order to make it a little bit easier for parents, we're going to be adding a sheet that has healthy meal suggestions for parents, but the snacks are the same as they always been. And we're also going to be ordering healthy snacks, a fruit and a vegetable that we'll be giving the students to try. And those students who choose not to will have the traditional snacks, which were like crackers and goldfish and stuff like that. And those are the ones that parents will be providing. So if anybody has any questions, and if I missed something, I'm sorry. I know that I will remember after I'm done with this video, but during open house, we will be a lot more prepared with all the information. And I would like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. And if you have been with us to this point in the video, you have an acknowledgement sheet where you will be signing your name, and on that sheet, as proof that you watched this video and that you got all the information that I had for you, you should be writing success. So again, the secret word is success. And the reason for that is that we hope to have a very successful year in the new St. Mary's pre-K program. And I would like to thank you all. And I can't wait to meet your kiddos and have a great start to the new year. See you on open house if you're able to make it. Thank you. Bye.